the smartphone that failed to adapt. BlackBerry's downfall. In a world ruled by screens that we fondly poke and swipe, once upon a not-so-distant past, BlackBerry reigned as the crown king of tactile efficiency. Oh, those were the days. Rewind to 1984. While most were grooving to the synthesized beats of pop music, an ambitious tech endeavor was being born in a modest office in Waterloo, Canada. Research in Motion, now known to the world as BlackBerry Ltd, was the brainchild of Mike Lazaridis and Douglas Fregin. This was the company that brought a revolution in the form of a compact, efficient, and dare I say, incredibly chic device. With its sleek design, those cute little buttons that our fingers danced upon, and an LED light that once dictated our attention spans, BlackBerry wasn't just another phone. It was a lifestyle statement. But let's drop the sarcastic reverence for a second. The BlackBerry was a game changer. The firm was so ahead of its time. It introduced us to real-time email communication on the go. Before the buzzwords instant gratification became a critique of modern society, BlackBerry was already offering a taste of it. Professionals, from Wall Street moguls to White House officials, brandished their BlackBerries like badges of honor. One couldn't walk into a corporate boardroom without the familiar chime of the notification coming from a BlackBerry Messenger or BBM, the 90s kids' version of Snapchat. And the general public, they were in awe, dreaming of one day owning the contraption that made everyone look so important. Before the deluge of emojis, apps, and candy-crushing sagas, BlackBerry was the talk of the town. In 2003, BlackBerry's first smartphone, the 6210, graced the world with its monochromatic visage. It wasn't just a phone. It was a portable oracle, predicting urgent emails from bosses and endless BBM chat notifications. By 2007, BlackBerry was a force to be reckoned with, holding a whopping 20% of the global smartphone market. To give a clearer picture, Apple, with its snazzy new iPhone, a mere blip on BlackBerry's radar, it only managed to corner 4.7% during the same year. Oh, and Android. Google was still figuring out how to unleash that green robot. By 2009, BlackBerry was swimming in the deep end with a valuation touching a staggering $40 billion. The world was BlackBerry's proverbial oyster. Sure, the world was moving fast, but BlackBerry seemed unstoppable. It was a cultural phenomenon, and while, in retrospect, we can poke fun and toss around a bit of sarcasm, back then, having a BlackBerry was akin to being part of an elite club. But every club, especially the elite ones, have their secrets. And as BlackBerry sat on its throne, cracks began to appear in its foundation. If only someone had whispered in its ear, "Adapt or perish." Amid the rise and shine of BlackBerry's empire, 2011 rolled around with some peculiar whispers. Those in the tech alleys started sharing hushed tales, not of BlackBerry's successes, but of its shortcomings. The first whiff of suspicion came ironically not from tech aficionados, but from regular users. Journalists found BlackBerry's indestructible encryption compromised. Reports began to surface about other secure BlackBerries being hacked. There was talk that maybe, just maybe, the brand that prided itself on security was a tad overconfident. Then came the revelation that rattled the empire. An internal leak exposed that BlackBerry had been aware of these security vulnerabilities for years. Instead of addressing the issue head-on, they chose the ostrich strategy, burying their heads in the sand and hoping the problem would just go away. As if this self-sabotage wasn't enough, A separate investigation revealed that BlackBerry was lagging in updating its servers. They were essentially running the TED marathon in outdated sneakers. Companies that once swore by BlackBerry for its security started questioning their loyalty. Now, to give them credit, BlackBerry did try to douse the fire. They released statements assuring users that they were addressing the issue. But come on. It was like trying to fix a dam by putting a band-aid on the crack. To add a cherry on this disaster Sunday, BlackBerry's response to the evolving app ecosystem was, well, embarrassing. Instead of embracing the app culture, they launched the BlackBerry Playbook without native email support. Who needs email on a tablet, right? The perception of BlackBerry was swiftly shifting. From being the reliable elder in the room, it was now becoming that out-of-touch uncle who still thinks disco is all the rage. Their once loyal user base began to eye greener pastures. Apple and Android weren't just contenders anymore. They were threats, offering flashy, user-friendly interface and an ever-expanding app universe. BlackBerry, with its glorious reputation for security, was now facing a barrage of lawsuits. There were claims of security breaches, compromised data, and sheer negligence. Beyond the legal hullabaloo, BlackBerry's stocks took a nosedive. We're talking about a 90% drop in market value between 2008 and 2012. The very foundation of BlackBerry's ethos was crumbling. Reports suggested that they were neglecting their core user base, the professionals. A survey in 2012 found that nearly 30% of corporate users were contemplating a switch to either Apple or Android. And why wouldn't they? While BlackBerry was playing catch-up, the competition was offering innovative solutions like cloud integration and superior app ecosystems. Financially, BlackBerry was in the ICU. Once valued at $40 billion, the company was barely scraping the $5 billion mark in 2013. To put that into perspective, that's like going from living in a Beverly Hills mansion to crashing on a friend's lumpy couch in their basement. Criminal charges loomed over the company like dark rain clouds. The Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, was keen on digging deeper into the promises BlackBerry had made to its shareholders. Were there misleading statements? Overconfident projections? These questions were the topic of the hour. Mike Lazaridis and Jamal Sully, once the dynamic duo, were now facing tough questions about their leadership. Was it mismanagement, denial, or just sheer bad luck? The public's trust in BlackBerry was as shattered as a phone screen meeting concrete. A 2014 survey showed that 85% of previous BlackBerry users wouldn't consider going back to the brand, even if they released a groundbreaking device. It was like going back to an ex. Tempting, but deep down, you know it's a bad idea. The media had a field day too. Headlines like BlackBerry, from very sweet to very sour, and is BlackBerry the new dodo, splashed across tech magazines and blogs. Tech influencers, once singing praises, were now making videos dissecting every wrong move BlackBerry made. The year was 2016, and BlackBerry made an announcement that left many startled. They were saying goodbye to their own operating system and embracing Android. This wasn't just a switch of software. It was a significant cultural shift for the company. Their first Android offering, the BlackBerry Priv, with its slide-out keyboard, was a tip of the hat to their glory days. It was a blending of nostalgia with the modern, kind of like when your aunt tries to use millennial slang. She's trying, and you appreciate the effort. But did the numbers justify this shift? In 2017, BlackBerry accounted for only 0.0482% of the smartphone market. BlackBerry's core issue was never about technology, but about mindset. They had been the leading innovators of their time. Still, as Confucius probably never said, even the mightiest can be defeated by their own complacency. The fall of BlackBerry serves as a timeless reminder in boardrooms and startups. Adaptability isn't a choice, it's survival. The tech arena is no place for nostalgia. What worked yesterday may not necessarily work today. And what works today? Well, there's no guarantee for tomorrow. While the name BlackBerry might invoke more giggles than gasps of admiration now, the company's legacy is undeniable. In 2020, BlackBerry pivoted once again, focusing on software solutions, cybersecurity, and embedded systems. BlackBerry's roller coaster journey from being the epitome of innovation to nearly facing oblivion, and then trying to claw their way back, serves as a monumental case study in the annals of tech history. They've shown that it's not about how hard you fall, but about how determined you are to get up. They might not be the talk of the town anymore, but somewhere, in a quiet corner, BlackBerry continues to tinker, innovate, and hope for a brighter, tech-savvy future. And who knows? With the right moves, BlackBerry might just be right for a comeback.